With their win, the Patriots overtook the Broncos as the top seed in the AFC playoff picture. As for a team that's used to being the top seed, the Chiefs, currently on the outside looking in at 6-6. Here's Chiefs head coach Andy Reid's interesting take on the team's mindset in the final weeks.
We're going to go after you every game. And, that's how we roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play, every game. And, but that's the attitude that we're coming in with, and then you let the chips fall where they may.
Tickle their tonsils.
Making out with them? I'm trying to think what that means per se.
I don't know. Swag,
This is the wrong show to talk about this.
Okay, all right.
Y'all know
nobody wants to go there.
We are not the right.
We are
people.
not mature enough.
Yeah, we are not the right crew
listen,
to talk about this.
We just talk about the news.
I just never heard that analogy
Couple
before.
nicknames.
Yeah.
Okay, Mina.
Listen.
That's how you get mono.
I know. Mina, moving on from the tonsils.
It would be our salutatory and say that's how you get mono.
Love it.
It's true, though.
She's a valedictorian, by the way.
Valedictorian. my bad.
Tonsil hockey.
Okay. Mina, the offense in KC really isn't the total issue behind the losses here. What's going on with this Kansas City defense?
Well, it's interesting to hear him talk about aggression because on offense, I completely agree because the offense is going to have to carry this team and they're going to have to go for it and they're going to have to put up points because aggression on defense has actually been hurting them. And we've talked about this with the Chiefs. They're not really getting pressure with the four-man rush unless Chris Jones goes crazy. Yep. So they're blitzing, but the biggest problem is this defense is the blitz is not effective at all. I mean, I want you to look at these numbers, 2022 through 2024 compared to this year. They used to be first in yards per play. Now they're this is when they blitz. 31st. Second in pressure rate. Now they're 28th. So not only are they relatively ineffective, they're amongst the worst defenses in the NFL when they send pressure this year. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts as to why that is. Watching them against Dak Prescott, though, and the Cowboys, after that first interception, when he started tearing it up, I was thinking to myself, one, good offensive lines seem prepared when they're sending their DBs and whatnot, and then good quarterbacks are identifying the coverage rotations and figuring out how to replace it. And Dak Prescott has obviously been in this league a long time. You've seen a lot. And I'm watching this thinking, against good quarterbacks, I don't see this working.
Yeah, and it's magnified, MK, because you tried to do that against CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
Yeah, good luck.
Last time we saw
your little corners who are good, but they're little.
Little corners, right? And they got beat like a drum. And I'm a McDuffie fan. I think he's one of the best in the league.
Tough match.
CD was too much for him. And you look at Watson trying to stay on George Pickens. I got to tape exactly what you're talking about. Like this used to be for the Kansas City Chiefs, especially when they needed a play. Dak recognizes it. 7 men up in the box. You know what Steve Spagnuolo wants to do. It's very rarely that they disguise. Go to a quick slant. Look at the space that's given to George Pickens. You got to respect that, but this has got to get a guy on the ground, make a tackle, and let's line up again. Again, it comes back. They're creeping in the line of scrimmage. You know they coming. Dak identifies it really quick. Do a phenomenal job with this wraparound as getting hands on him just long enough. You throw the out route to CeeDee Lamb. It also was not only that those guys were able to uncover, they didn't get them on the ground a lot. So that's a big deal when you start talking about Steve Spagnuolo and you think about what this defense has been able to do. It was, and we've talked about it, it was Chris Jones when you did have a four-man rush. You move him around the line of scrimmage. They are panic blitzing now. They're not blitzing to just be aggressive, what we've known Steve Spagnuolo for. I don't think this team, this defense, feels like they can create negative plays if they don't bring an extra body. That's a bad place to be as a defense.
So watching that tape and trying to figure out the why, those two clips are pressure with man.
Yep.
This defense for years was pressure with
zone
coverage, with middle field open.
Dak was ripping that up, too, though. There was one where they rotated to two and he hit the bender.
But the pick comes off of,
the pick,
so I'd be interested to see kind of where they kind of sit with the usage of when they're getting into their exotic pressures coverage-wise, because it often was that catch coverage with two safeties in the middle of the field. I also think this, we were talking about yesterday, they just can't find a way to get off the field in the second half defensively. And then when you look at actually how the games have played out, go back to week 5 against Jacksonville. They're up for it, Kansas City, with $1:45 left. Jacksonville goes down the field, scores. They only give the ball back with 20 seconds. Game over. That's a rarity. Week 9 against Buffalo. Buffalo's up 7 with 4:18 left. They don't give the ball back to 22 seconds. So Buffalo marches down the field, chews up the clock. Can you guys put it back up again? Because week 11 versus the Broncos, Once again, tie game. Broncos get the ball with 3 minutes left. They don't give the ball back. They go down, march
They
down.
were sending pressure, and the Broncos picked it up
Yeah,
every time on
but
that
week
drive.
13 against Dallas last week, they're down 3. Dallas gets the ball with 3:20. They never get the ball back.
Right.
Those are 4 losses when the defense has been on the field with the opportunity to give the ball back to the quarterback with multiple minutes on the game.
Yep.
Not once did they.
Which is why it's panic pressure.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So y'all have heard me say this a long time. You want to do that when you want to. Right. And we watch Steve Spagnuolo, even on some third down situations when we watched him in the playoffs, we watched him in big games, he still was pressuring from a position of strength. Now it's pressure, it's desperation.
Gotcha.
And now you don't have the same corner.
Gotcha.
Well, you know, I think they're missing, and Mitch Schwartz from the Chiefs mentioned this to me the other day. Justin Reid. Yeah, he's
Interesting.
such a big part of those blitz schemes.
Yeah, because when you look at it, you try to figure out like who's missing, what's missing, why would it change so much? According to ESPN Analytics, Kansas City could see its playoff chances drop to 14% with a loss Sunday night against Houston.
Chiefs Kingdom, gather around because we need to talk honestly about what's happening with this team and why the national media keeps trying to bury Kansas City like the dynasty is suddenly gone. But here's the truth they never seem to understand. As long as Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes is still standing, as long as this team is breathing, the Kansas City Chiefs are never out of the fight. And today, Andy Reid made that perfectly clear with one of the wildest, most aggressive, most defiant messages we've heard from him all season. When asked about the mindset for the final stretch, Reid didn't hesitate. He said the Chiefs are going after every opponent, every game, every snap, with full attack mode. That's not a coach giving up. That's a warning to the entire AFC. And yes, the defense has been the center of criticism. The panel broke down the numbers, and they're not wrong. The blitz efficiency has dropped, the pressure isn't hitting home, and teams with elite quarterbacks are diagnosing everything before the snap. Mina Kimes laid it out perfectly. The issue isn't the offense. Mahomes is still Mahomes. The problem is that Kansas City is blitzing out of desperation instead of strength. Last season, Spagnuolo's pressure packages were unpredictable, violent, and perfectly timed. But this year, without Justin Reid playing that hybrid enforcer role, the structure feels off balance. Chris Jones can't do it alone, and offenses know it. Then came the harsh reality check. 4 losses where the Chiefs' defense had one job late in the fourth quarter and couldn't get off the field. Jacksonville, Buffalo, Denver, Dallas. 4 opportunities to give Patrick Mahomes the ball with time left. 4 failures. And that's where the frustration comes from, because everyone knows what happens when Mahomes has the ball last, yet he never got that chance. That is what must change for Kansas City to surge again. But here's where the national media always makes the same mistake. They react to the moment, not the history. They panic when the Chiefs stumble. They forget that this exact team has reinvented itself in December year after year. They forget that Mahomes has never had a losing season. They forget that Andy Reid has built a culture based on resilience and brutal honesty. When Andy Reid says they're going after everybody, he means it. When this team feels cornered, they respond with the kind of football that made them a dynasty in the first place. The analysts talked about the Chiefs' playoff chances possibly dropping to 14% with another loss. 14%! And they said it like the story is already written. Chiefs Kingdom knows better. The Chiefs have been to the brink before and punched their way out. They've won games they weren't supposed to win. They've shocked teams that underestimated them. When the world doubts Kansas City, that's when this team becomes the most dangerous. This is the moment where the Chiefs decide what their season becomes. Do they fold, or do they rise with the same fire we've seen for the past 6 years? Andy Reid made the answer clear: aggression, attack, belief. If the defense tightens even a little, if the panic blitzing becomes purposeful again, Mahomes can still carry this team into the postseason and make the AFC regret doubting Kansas City. So now I want to hear from you, Chiefs Kingdom. Do you still believe this team can flip the script? Do you trust Mahomes and Andy Reid to turn December into a statement month? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more Chiefs coverage. The season is far from over, and the comeback may just be beginning.